Tonight on KGW News, face to face for the first time.
Kamala Harris. Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Thank you.
As the former president and the vice president make a debate about policy intensely personal.
Donald Trump actually has no plan for you because he is more interested in defending himself.
She doesn't have a plan. She copied Biden's plan, and it's like 4 sentences, like run, spot, run.
Also tonight, the arrest of a local cheerleading coach now accused of sexual abuse.
It came out of left field. It really did. Because he was so loved.
Then, a Portland nonprofit that spent decades doing good is now asking for help.
This is really a make or break situation for us.
And fellow firefighters cheer the recovery of one of their own after he put his life on the line. A very good evening. We begin with tonight's intense presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Thanks for joining us. I'm David Molko. Over 105 minutes, the candidates covered a lot of ground on everything from immigration to abortion to race. And keep in mind, this was their first ever in-person meeting, with the vice president choosing to cross the stage to shake the former president's hand. Though broadly speaking, that civility waned as the debate went on. Here is a snapshot of Harris addressing Trump's false claims that the 2020 election was stolen, while Trump responded by trying to drive a wedge between President Biden and his vice president.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that.
She got no votes. He got 14 million votes. What you did, you talk about a threat to democracy. He got 14 million votes and they threw him out of office. And you know what? I'll give you a little secret. He hates her. He can't stand her.
Meanwhile, our Verified team closely tracked some of the claims the two candidates made. Here is Casey Decker with some of those fact checks.
For the first time, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump squared off on the debate stage.
Let's have a good debate.
Nice to see you. Have fun.
Our Verified team closely tracked the claims the two candidates made, fact-checking them to see what's true and what's false. To do that, we used these sources. On the topic of immigration, Trump repeated a claim that's been circulating widely on social media the past few days about a small town in Ohio that has experienced a large influx of Haitian migrants.
In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there.
This claim is false. It appears to have started from an unsubstantiated rumor shared online, and there's no evidence to support it. The city of Springfield, the Springfield Police Division, and the Clark County Park District have all issued statements saying they haven't gotten a single report of pets being stolen or eaten. A city spokesperson added, quote, "There have been no verified instances of immigrants engaging in illegal activities, such as squatting or littering in front of residents' homes." Later in the debate, the focus shifted to energy, specifically fracking, a key issue in Pennsylvania, the swing state where the debate was held. Trump said Harris wants to ban the practice, which she denied.
I made that very clear in 2020. I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States.
This claim needs context. It's true that there is no federal ban on fracking, and the Biden administration has not pursued one. But when Harris first ran for president in 2019, she said during a town hall, quote, "There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking." Once she was chosen as Joe Biden's running mate, she changed her position and made public statements promising the new administration would not ban fracking. She's kept that position since, reiterating in a recent CNN interview, quote, "As president, I will not ban fracking." The two also squared off on the economy, each claiming it was better off during their time in the White House.
When I had it, I had tariffs, and yet I had no inflation.
Trump's claim is false. Inflation was low during much of his term, but it was not zero. Inflation is an increase in prices. The government tracks it with the Consumer Price Index, a figure that represents the relative cost of a basket of common goods. From when Trump took office to when he left, prices rose by 7.7%. That's an average yearly inflation rate of 1.9%, almost exactly the rate the Federal Reserve says is ideal for a healthy and stable economy. We fact-checked a bunch more claims from this debate. Read them at verifythis.com. With your Verify, I'm Casey Decker.
Well, meanwhile, on the debate stage in Seattle tonight, the candidates for Washington governor squared off, taking on issues like public safety, gun control, and transportation spending. Democrat and Attorney General Bob Ferguson promised, if elected, to spend more state money on affordable housing and police officers. Republican and former Congressman Dave Reichert promised to veto new taxes to get tough on crime, also pushing for more police resources. Both candidates tried to frame themselves as the best choice for public safety, with a nod to the presidential race coming near the start of the debate.
I think it's clear that I'm the only public safety candidate in this race.
Dave, I'm sorry. I'm going to take no lectures from you about public safety when you are voting for and supporting a convicted felon for president.
I hate to disappoint you, Bob, but I am not supporting Mr. Trump. I'm making that announcement tonight. I'm also not supporting Mrs. Harris.
You spoke to a group of Republican Party activists, and you said you are supporting Donald Trump. Specifically, what you did
That's
was
not
you said,
true. That is not true, Mr. Ferguson.
Well, the candidates were asked about the repeal of the Climate Commitment Act, a measure that's also on the ballot in November. Reichert supports getting rid of it, saying a gas surcharge is hurting Washingtonians. Ferguson does not support a repeal, but says the act needs to be adjusted. You can check out more of the key moments and issues right now on KGW.com. New at 11, another candidate for Portland mayor is being called out for past traffic violations. Willamette Week reporting that City Commissioner Rene Gonzalez racked up 7 speeding tickets in Oregon since 1998 and had his driver's license suspended twice in 1998 and 2003. Gonzalez, who was first elected in 2022, telling the paper he has become more responsible as he got older, and that is reflected in his record. This comes a day after the Oregonian reported that mayoral candidate and Commissioner Carmen Rubio racked up more than 150 parking and traffic tickets and had her license suspended 6 times over the past 2 decades. Rubio telling KGW she learned some hard lessons, and those experiences have shaped who she is today. New tonight, 1 man is dead following a shooting in the Lloyd district. Portland police say this was at Northeast Grand and 6th, and by the time they arrived just after 5:30, the shooter had taken off. No word on any suspect or suspects. Developing this evening, a youth cheer coach in St. Helens has been arrested and charged with multiple counts of sexual abuse of minors, and police say they believe there could be more victims. Blair Best has the latest.
This is 27-year-old Anthony Trenkler. He's in jail facing multiple charges of sexual abuse. St. Helens police arrested him Friday, September 6th, after a 3-week investigation. Trenkler was a 15-year coach at Vault Elite Cheer, a staple in the St. Helens community.
Well, we were devastated.
Ashley Wynn's daughter owns the gym, where Trenkler taught children between the ages of 3 and 17.
It's stressful.
He was the only male out of the 3 coaches on staff. He has since been fired.
It came out of left field. It really did. Because he was so loved. You know, we trusted him. We've had him in our home. And it seems out of character, but we don't know.
Court documents allege Trenkler sexually abused 3 girls, all under the age of 14. It's unclear where each of the alleged incidents happened, but Wynn believes some of the abuse took place in a storage loft above the gym floor.
My grandkids, you know, they were exposed to him too. In the cheer world, it's very hands-on, you know, so this would be a culture where it could happen, you know. Our coaches are hands-on, and so if someone had ill intent, they could do it.
That's not to say the gym doesn't try to prevent it.
When they do a background check, this is what we get back. Actually, today we're putting up more cameras. I think we got 8 more.
Trenkler pleaded not guilty in court Monday and, per the judge, is not allowed around minors.
You know, we want the focus to be on finding out the truth and having all the victims, if there are more, come forward. That's our focus.
The St. Helens police are concerned there could be more victims, so anyone with information is encouraged to give them a call. As for Trenkler, he's due back in court later this month. In St. Helens, Blair Best, KGW News.
To get you caught up on tonight's other headlines now, the man accused of kidnapping and killing his neighbor, a Beaverton nurse, appeared in person in court today for the first time. 27-year-old Bryce Schubert is charged with the murder of 32-year-old Melissa Jubane. Today's hearing was quick. A judge was appointed in the case. Schubert is charged with murder, kidnapping, and abuse of a corpse. He is due back in court on Monday. The Multnomah County Sheriff's Office is asking for help as it continues to look for a missing teenager. 15-year-old Bailey Jade Lukes of Fairview was last seen on June 14th near Southeast Powell and 122nd. Jade has brown eyes. At the time, her hair was dyed purple, though her family believes it may now be blue. If you see her, please call 911. Yeah, that is the sound of firefighters cheering on one of their own after he left a local burn center more than 2 months after he was severely injured on the job. Gresham firefighter Spencer Tejeda suffered burns to more than 45% of his body when he ran into a burning duplex in search of what he thought was a teenager inside.
Firefighters did what firefighters do. And sometimes that means you always know there's a risk. You're putting your life on the line, so to speak. He literally did.
Tejedas is moving to rehab facilities for a few weeks before returning home to his wife and their 2 boys. An investigation determined the house fire was accidental and was sparked by an unattended candle.